This video is how to make a rabbit hat. We have two different sizes. One is for a child toddler size and one is a baby hat. And it's that time of year again. Things are starting to cool off. The leaves have fallen and we have ice forming on the river. Snow is going to be coming in soon. And I gotta get Chelle and Callan with their first rabbit hats. Making Chevelle's hat and Callan's. He's taking a little nap right now, so I'm just trying to get ahead while he's sleeping. Got some rabbit fur. Callan's is kind of gray color. I just bought these. I didn't tan these myself. And so I put, goes on the inside of the hat. So for him, some go right there. Little baby hat. Got a sharp knife. You never want to cut straight down to the table because the reason you're doing this is so you save the actual fur. Front of Chevelle's. This will be the fabric that goes with it. She picked it out all herself. She needs a new one that's a little bigger than Callan's size. Callan's a baby size, so Chevelle's getting an upgrade. And Chelle picked out this one for Callan for his material. Baby shark, doo-doo. See which way the hair's going and make sure that it's going towards me so that when I lay out the ear piece, it'll be going down. Flip it over. This is where I was going to cut one out. I didn't. Thank goodness. Just use that mark. I got this pattern from an auntie. She taught us how to make rabbit hats. A couple different aunties taught me how to make hats and different little tricks of the trade. When I was growing up, we always had new hats and new boots. So it's important to keep these traditions going and make them for our kids so they always have a new hat and new boots, especially as they grow. And they always say they want a new pair because it makes them run faster. Boots. New pair of boots. So they said it's a lot lighter and warmer than the boots we buy from the store, so that's what they like. And if they ask for it, well, I gotta make it. And they get used to having that nice fur against their skin when it's really cold and windy, and it just brings so much comfort to them. Just not physically only, but their mom made it. You know, it's keeping them nice and toasty, and it's handmade, and they'll have these with them. I saved them. Once they're done and outgrow them, I saved them for them. So when they have kids, they'll have something to start off with them until they make it themselves or their wife makes it for their kids. We can hope. Anytime you use skin to sew with, you want to make sure to use a sharp blade or a razor blade to cut out the fur, because you don't want to use scissors, which will actually cut the hair on the skin. So use a razor blade on the back side and just only cut through the skin portion. So I'm just tracing out this pattern that I got from an auntie. That is for Chevelle's hat. And
not too loud.
This is the pattern that she picked out. And so I already assembled the inside fur, so that goes inside the hat, along with some really cute liner that's kind of glittery and sparkly. And so right now it's just a lot of cutting pieces out and prepping the material for sewing together. And I just use a whip stitch in the process. Rabbit is what we use for children because it's nice and soft. It's not, you know, a big powerful animal like a wolverine or wolf. Really, kids aren't supposed to use those kinds of fur when they're little like that. So this kind of fur is what we use for children. These ones are about 30, 35 per piece of skin. They could go up in price or be cheaper than that, but yeah, this one was about $35 for that whole piece of fur. But I usually just get a couple yards because I use it maybe once or twice, and then the kids want a different pattern, and so I just get a couple yards of fabric. And for the hat material, I like to get something that's a little more sturdy, that'll hold up in the weather. For Callan's, his is a lot more soft, like flannel material, and that's okay, just because he is a baby, you know, and oftentimes when we're commuting, I'll have like a blanket on top of him, like if we're on a snow machine or something in town. So I'm not too worried about that. But the older they get, the more you want something that's also a little more windproof. So, and this is the pattern. We have the front, the back, and then the ear and flap piece. And then this goes kind of on that back of the neck, connecting the fur to this section here. So all the little parts to assemble. And this is again just for children and a baby size. Look how cute this one is. A little tiny baby hat. So cute. My aunt was gracious enough to teach me and a bunch of others, and then share the pattern with us as well.
That's the big thing, is sharing the pattern. It's always...
Yep. There's always a story that comes with patterns and how they came to be, and different little lessons that we pick up along the way from those that teach us, you know, and so I try to keep those in mind as I work. I often think about those people and their sewing techniques and things that they taught me, and my grandma. I think about my grandma quite a bit. So the baby's sleeping, and this is when I really get cruising. So I'm just trying to make up some good time here while he's napping. And while Chevelle's upstairs being busy.
Or else she'll want to help.
Yep. You can see I have a lot of use out of these. I have a lot of marker marks. This looks like a well-worn pattern. You can tell after 5 kids and maybe, you know, nieces and nephews and baby cousins that I've worn these patterns out. I often, when I'm working in the school too with the kids, I reuse these patterns and help them, just like how my aunties helped me. I pass this along to them so they know how to. I'm going to get some scissors and I'm going to cut it out, well, giving it a little bit of space here.
Not right on the line.
Not right on the line, so there's a little hem there.
Tricks.
Tricks of the trade. All right, so there's my cut pieces. Really pretty. And then these ones. So I gotta sew these 3 pieces together and then sew on the front and then get the inside cut out. So we have an outside and an inside that we have to do separately. And then the last piece is combining them and making the strings, which I'll show you how to do a chain braid here soon. So you got the exterior of the hat, the interior with the liner, and then sew it together with the tassels. She'll be ready to wear it. Right now I'm starting to sew it along the hemline there, and then I have to do it all inside out because when I'm done I'll flip it the right way. But you got to do all your sewing on the inside so you can't see your sew marks. And I'm just doing, if I had a sewing machine this would go a lot faster, but it's not too bad the way it is. I kind of cruise along, make some decent time here. All right, I hear Chelle coming down. She's gonna catch me sewing. Hi, Chelle. Are you gonna help me?
Oh, you want to sit right here?
You wanna sit next to Mom? Look at your, it's all really coming together. Look how pretty. Wow. You wanna see the noghniy?
Yeah.
Noghniy. This goes inside like this. This part goes in like this. Ooh.
This part out.
On your forehead. Where's your forehead?
Right here.
Yeah. Exactly. That'll be perfect.
Yeah, thank you, Mama.
Thank you. Ooh, you can touch that though. It's nice and soft. And we'll just keep sewing these pieces together. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Because it's getting colder outside.
Mom, remember you done that already?
Right. Yesterday I had to take a break. Why did I take a break from it?
It does.
Remember I was making a mistake?
Yeah.
When it gets too late and you make mistakes, they say you just gotta put it away. Don't work on your sewing too late.
Yeah.
You'll make mistakes. Yep.
And mistakes.
Mom? So one of the things that's really important is making sure this hair stays tucked in there, because if you start sewing with it out, it's going to clog up your needle and your thread. So you have to make sure that that hair stays down. So oftentimes I'll just keep going along and re-tucking it down. Time assembling the skin to the fabric, and so the skin doesn't get folded over or anything like that, but the fabric you still have to have a hem on. So it's kind of the raw edge to a hem.
Mommy, can I tell a photo?
Chevelle's helping me with her drawings on her skin. Somebody's under the table being a nuisance. He doesn't mind it. Yes.
Photo.
Is he bothering us? All right, so we are assembling the last part of our exterior of our hat. So we got the back, the sides, and then the front here. And so I just have to go down to here, and then we'll have the exterior all done. All right, so we finished all the way around. I just want to show you what it looks like. Let's snip this off. So we have the exterior of Chevelle's hat all finished, her tsux, and it's looking super cute. I tried to keep the flower, the pattern, you know, kind of cute. Fur is all going the right direction. Next we got to do the inside fur and the liner material, the tassels, which I'll show you how to do a chain braid, and then we'll assemble it and be done.
What about your hat? What about your hat?
He's ready for his too. All right, so now we have drawn out pattern for our liner. I'm just cutting it out. So we're on to the next step.
Ah, my flag.
Sorry, but I'm cutting up material here. Ow, easy does it, champ.
You see this in champ.
One side, look how pretty that material is. So we just finished the interior, the liner part of the hat. And this is kind of a fun time to just do a sneak peek of what it's going to look like when it's all done. So it's not totally ready to assemble yet, but we're going to give a little sneak peek and just see what it's going to look like here. So we got those pieces, and we have the interior. That's gonna go here. So basically I have to sew 3 pieces in here for a nice little liner, the fur, and the exterior. And then we have to get our chain braid going between 2 colors of yarn for our little ties. And then our ties are gonna also have a little piece of rabbit right at the ends. So this part is probably the more trickier part, is putting all these 3 together. So when we get to that part, I'm gonna show you a few different strategies for it. All right, so I started on Callan's hat, and we have his kind of coming together pretty well here. I have the inside, here's the exterior. So cute. And I wanted to stop. I'm at a good place to work on these tassels, these tie straps. And you see how they're attached inside of here. I usually sew them in, and then I put the same material that I use for the fur hat on the tassels as well. And so there's a couple different ways to do this. I've heard it called a chain braid, or some people also call it a 4 braid. It has 4 pieces of yarn. There's a way to do it like this, where it actually looks like it's spiraling. And then there's what I like as well, where there's one color on either side and the other color on the opposite sides. But it's the same method. you just arrange the yarn differently. So I'll do Chevelle's one way and I'll do Callan's the other way, just so you can kind of see how they're done. But these are Chevy's gigantic size 15 skin boots. Gigałchin is what they're called. And that took up a lot of material. He's got big feet. But let's get started. So my grandma would have her show on, and she'd have by her windowsill, you know, a place where she would work on her materials, and just a spot like this. So, you know, they did a lot of processing and making. They did a lot of making things for the family, her grandkids. Obviously, this is like an art table. Sydney and Ryder and Emery, now Chevelle and Callan will be using this space for their art. It's just a beautiful place to work, have nice outdoor lighting. And so this is here are the 4 strands of yarn, and you arrange it this way when you want it to spiral. You arrange it this way when you want them on either side, one color, a little more color blocking. And I'm gonna do Chevelle's maybe more of a spiral this time. And you start with the 4 pieces and you only cross in the center. So you have a high side and a low side, and the high side goes over. Once it crosses, you switch them. So you swap the outside and the inside. And now you have a new high and low in the center. The high goes over the low, and then you cross them and switch them again. Now you have a high and low again. The high goes over the low, and you cross them inside outside again. Different high and low. High goes over the low, you switch them and cross them. It's kind of, you do that twisting motion at the same time, and then you end up with 2 new pieces on the inside again. So after a while, your hands kind of build up that muscle memory, and you go a little faster in this kind of a braid. But again, high over low, cross them and switch them out. So you have a new one in the center every time. Takes a while to get it down. I think I practiced quite a bit, and every year I kind of refresh my memory with, okay, well, how did I do this again? Because, you know, you kind of have to remember, you're kind of using both hands at the same time and just crossing them out. This is a pretty common pattern to use, a common technique to use. You know, you could braid, but, you know, with 3 pieces, but oftentimes those start to unravel. These are a little more sturdy, especially for hat tassels that get used so much. But you can see this pattern kind of forming here now with a chain. This takes a little while. I'll do 1 whole piece and then I'll cut it in half, so I have, you know, 2 parts to tie down. Muscle memory. So it's going pretty fast. This is kind of old school to me too. I look at, you know, stuff my grandma made, and I just get a little nostalgic because this is the type of you know, technique that she used as well. And I like seeing the white and contrasting color together. All right, so we finished Chevelle's chain braid, and I wanted to show you what the other one looks like. So this is, hers all done. It's gonna be cut in half, so they're about that long. Then I'll attach the rabbit skin to the end to make the little pom-poms. And then this one is gonna have the same color inside. So we cross over, under. Yeah. Same color inside, cross, over, under. It's just another way of looking at it too. Like, especially if you first are learning, you might try just using the same color. So that way you always have the same color on the inside. It's easier to track. Cross, inside, outside. And you'll see the different pattern forming.
But you always have the same color in the middle with this one.
With this one, you always have the same color in the middle. So now we turned Kellen's hat inside out. We've sewed on the skin to the exterior, but now we gotta sew the skin onto the interior.
Dad.
It's my favorite part, is saving the front.
I miss
That's
that.
like the final icing on the cake, and then we'll get to try it on Callan, and then Chevelle's is next. Chevelle's excited for hers. She did some extra artwork on the inside. Pretty. You can keep drawing on there if you want.
Mama.
She's my helper. And then we got the tassels inside.
Mommy hold it like this.
So cute.
Yeah.
This is so soft.
We hold it like this on stool.
You learned how.
Yeah, now I'm a big doll. Now I'm not a small baby anymore.
What? You're still my baby. In, under the fabric. Let's check it out. A little noghniy hat for a baby cow.
I'm trying to go mine rabbit. Actually,
Can't wait for him to put it on.
On me.
That's the finished product.
Come to mine.
So we have our interior of her hat done, the exterior of her hat done, and they're inside out right now. And there's 3 parts. There's a 3rd part we're gonna attach, and that is our nicely decorated soft interior lining. And so the trick with this is remembering that it's gotta be the opposite side of the exterior. And so, and you're gonna turn it inside out, which means you lay it against it. So you have your skin, the exterior. We have these parts. We fold the hem down and put this right against it. And then with so many pieces, and one of my aunties showed me that what you do is you use a paper clip, because this could be pretty thick. And especially with like that hair there from the fur, the liner, your grandma and grandpa. We just use a paper clip because it grabs it all and holds it there. And that way too, your folded over exterior, the hemline there is stays put. So especially if you're getting young people started on this, it's helpful, you know, to have several paper clips lined throughout so they could just keep going. So whenever you're teaching as well, you could actually have several paper clips, just keeping it all together, keeping that fur down. It's all very helpful, which sometimes could be frustrating if you're just trying it for the first time. So I'm going to start on this side and work all the way around because I sew from right to left. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so I made it to the top there. Chelle handed me the tassel, the chain braid.
Papa,
We put on the cute little rabbit skin. And when I attach these, I just cut a small little square and then wrap it around and kind of sew into the knot of the yarn and into the skin. And you know, actually there's where I'm not afraid it's going to get super gummy because it makes really tight, a tight, secure area. And I just kind of go along it and sew it down. So I go from inside there, that's where it's gonna hang once we flip it, and I just sew it into it this way. Some people attach it to the outside, and I just like, especially for baby hats, I just sew it right into it, right in the bottom. It works just fine. I'm just about ready to do the flip, and we're gonna say see you later to all Chevelle's beautiful artwork on this inside of this rabbit skin. All right, everybody, so we're at the place where we sewed all the way around. I usually sew from right to left, so I went this way, down this way, around, and here, and then I stopped here. So this is my favorite part because you get to see all the pieces kind of come together. So we get to turn it the right side out. Ba-da-ba-bum, ba-da-ba-bum. The grand reveal. Chevelle's gonna be so excited. She's been waiting every day for this. And I worked on Callan's and got his done. But look at that. So super cute. So warm and cuddly and soft for her. And the last step is a quick and easy one. And we have to turn it back this way. And all we're gonna do is stitch along and tack down the fur. So all this is loose right now, and all I'm gonna do is take my needle and thread, start here, and just kind of tack down all the edges. Doesn't take much. You don't want to go all the way through because the fabric obviously on the outside is here, so you don't want to go all the way through. Are you so excited? I'm so excited. The moment we've been waiting for. Look, Chevelle. Huh? Ready to try it?
Let's see, baby. Wow. Oh,
cute.
So cute.
He got chocolate face. Oh. Then we gotta get Callan's on too. Here's Callan's. Do, 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 do. He's not much of a hat guy. Look at that. Look how nice. He's like, get it off me. This reminds me of Sydney and Ryder when they were little.
Daddy and Papa and Preston.
This reminds me of Sydney and Ryder when they were little because Sydney had the bigger hat and Ryder had the little hat. And now we have Chevelle has the bigger hat and Callan has the little hat. So you're ready to go play outside.
Why?
Do you want to go play outside?
Yeah, where's that?
Yeah.
Where's my blue?
Daddy, can you get the little ski bike out?
Yeah, that's one.
What's happened? Was it frozen?
Yeah, baby. Catch me.
Wow.
This baby come off. That baby come off.
He wants to ride it too.
Baby
He's
cow.
like, I don't know how to sit
Hey, baby.
in the back. He's trying to push her. Can he sit in front of you for a second? Can he sit in front of you for a second?
No.
Just for a little bit.
Hold on, just like Sydney does to you.
Cute.
Wow.
There too.
Wow. You're going fast?
And that's how we make rabbit hats. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I know Chevelle and Callan are going to enjoy winter a lot more with some new warm hats.